Hello there. In this video, we are going to create the bar chart using ggplot2 package. So I'm going to start with loading the diverse library. The dataset, the IMDb movies dataset is already loaded in my session. The dataset is also available on the GitHub repository. If you want, you can download it, or you can use read.csv function to directly access the dataset in your IM format. So let's first view the dataset. Now you can see that this dataset has all the information related to the movies. For example, which genre the movie has, which country it was released, what was its rating, and lead actor, director, and so on. Okay, now we are going to answer a few questions from this dataset. And the first question that we want to answer is how many movies are released for each genre. Now, if you go back to the dataset, you can see that there is one variable called genre, in that against each movie, which genre this movie is from is mentioned in this genre variable. So we are interested in counting the number of movies that were released from 1920 to 2015 for each genre. So we are going to use the bar chart for this. So let's first start with the basic layer, which is a data layer. Data in this case is IMDb movies data. The second layer will be the aesthetic layer, which will map the x and y axis. In this case, I'm going to use the categorical variable, in this case genre, for the x-axis, and the third layer will be the geometric object. In this case, I am going to plot the bar chart, so I will be using the geometric bar as the geometric object. Now let's execute this and let's see what we get. Now, as you can see, we got the bar chart. On x-axis, you will find the genre, and on the y-axis, you will find the count for the number of movies released, the count for that particular genre. Now, if you look closely to this bar chart, you will observe the count variable. The variable which is mentioned on the y-axis has nowhere been mentioned in our geom layers. So from where this count variable come from? Because if you see the dataset, in dataset also you won't find the count variable. So the question that you may have in your mind is from where the count variable come from. So the answer to this question lies in something called as statistical transformation. So when you use the geombar function, the ggplot2 package uses statistical transformation to calculate the height of each bar. And by default, the count is used as a statistical transformation, which means it calculates the number of observations for that particular category, it adds all the observations, and it produces the result as count. And the height of each bar is nothing but the number of counts that has appeared. The height of the bar is nothing but the number of times that particular category has appeared in the dataset. So if I use stat equal to count, and if I again run this ggplot function, I should get the same plot, because by default the statistical transformation which is used by geombar function is count. Fine. So we understood the basic bar chart, how the basic bar chart can be quickly plotted with the help of ggplot function, with the help of geombar geometric object. Now let's answer another question. The another question is, which genre, now out of all this genre, which genre generated the highest revenue. So if we go back to the data set, what we are interested in finding out of all this genre, which genre has generated the highest revenue. That is an interesting question. In order to answer this question, we will need some data manipulation. So let's use some function that we have learned from the ggplot package, starting with the database IMDb movies. So the first thing I will have to do is to group the observation as per the genre. So group by genre. So I'm grouping the observation as per the genre. Once I group the observation as per the genre, then I will have to use the summarize function so that I can sum up all the observations, all the movie revenues that are coming under that particular genre. So summarize, I will create a new variable called total revenue, and I'm going to sum up all the gross revenue for all the movies that are appearing in that particular genre group. Right, so let's view this transformation first. Now you can see that each of these genre are being grouped together, and against each genre I have a total cumulative revenue. Okay, now let's use ggplot function to plot the bar chart. So ggplot, right, the data in this case is this transformation. This transformation shall automatically go into the ggplot as a data. So I don't have to explicitly mention again the data. I will going to now use the aesthetic layer. In this case, x equal to my genre and y equal to total revenue. So this is the total revenue. This is the new variable that I've created. Y equal to total revenue. So I will use geometric object as geombar, but in this case stat equal to identity. Stat equal to identity, this type of statistical transformation. Now this type of statistical transformation will be used when you want to use the raw values from the data set and not the count of the observations from the data set, right? So geombar stat equal to identity. So let's run this. Let's run this and let's see what we get. So we got the bar graph, and as you can see on x-axis we have mentioned the genre, but on the y-axis is the total revenue that we have calculated before. Okay, and the height of the bar graph represents the total revenue generated against that particular genre category. Okay, so we could able to generate the basic bar graph, but our work is not over. I want to do two things here. I want to show this bar graph in ascending or descending order, number one, and I want to also show the values representing the height of each bar. So let's start with showing the labels on top of each bar graph. So let me close this. If you want to show the labels, then you will have to use another layer called geom text. And inside the geom text, we'll have to use the aesthetic as the label. So in this case, label will be the value of total revenue. Okay, so let's execute this, you can see that the values have now appeared on top of each graph, on top of each bar. You can also adjust the position of the label with the help of vjust argument. Vjust equal to minus 0.5. The minus sign is used when you want to position the label vertically up. The plus sign is used when you want to position the label vertically down. So I'm going to position it vertically up, so minus 0.5. Now let's see. As you can see that the position of the label is slightly gone upwards from the bar. Okay, and you can also, if you wish, can change the color of the label. So let's change the color of the label. Okay, so we could able to change the color of the label, we could able to change the position of the label. So, and each value is the revenue that's been generated by the genre. So as you can see that the number that has been represented on top of each bar is a long number because it's a revenue that's been generated by the genre. So if I could able to shorten the number by converting this revenue into $1 billion, into a US $1 billion, then I could able to short the length of this number. So let's do that. Okay, so let's use the muted function. I'm going to change the scale of this variable total revenue multiplied by 10 to the power of minus 9, because we want to convert the revenue into $1 billion. Okay, and we'll use a round function here. I want to show the number to the second decimal position, so round comma 2, yeah, so it should work, and type operator. So let's say, yeah, now this label looks more concise, right? Now we got all our values into $1 billion. So we could able to shorten the length of the numbers. Now the second thing we are going to do is to arrange these columns into a descending or ascending order, right? So let's do that. So that's what I meant by creating a presentable bar chart. It should look appealing as well, right? So now we are going to rearrange this bar graph in ascending or descending order. In order to do that, first we will have to convert this genre column. This is, by the way, the type for this genre is a character. We have to change the type to factor. We'll have to convert the genre into a factor variable. So let's first do that. So let me use the muted function again, and let me change the genre to factor. Okay, so I've converted the genre to the factor, and then for the x-axis I want to arrange the columns in ascending or descending order, right, as per the revenue being generated. So for the x-axis I will use factor reorder. Okay, factor reorder. I want to reorder the genre by the value of total revenue. Okay, so if you want to arrange or change the bar chart in ascending or descending order, first you have to convert the categorical variable into a factor, which we have done here, and then you will have to use the factor reorder for the axis on which you want to reorder the thing or reorder things. In this case, we want to reorder the categorical variable on x-axis, so that's why we have used the factor reorder for the x-axis. Okay, so let's execute. Yeah, as you can see that it has arranged the bar graph in ascending order. If you want to change the order from ascending to descending, you can simply use a negative sign to a total revenue inside factor reorder method. Now let's see what happens. Yeah, so you can see now the order is flipped, the order is changed from ascending to descending, and we could able to now get a nice bar graph which is arranged as per the descending order of revenue. The labels are also very concise and short, and you get a very good understanding of which genre has generated the highest revenue, then the second highest, and then the third highest, and so on. Okay, perfect. Now let's quickly summarize. We have used the bar chart. It is created using statistical transformation. By default, stat equal to count transformation is used, which simply counts the number of observations in the data set for a particular category. If we want to use the raw observation, as in the case of total revenue, we use the raw observation. So for that, we use stat equal to identity transformation inside the geom bar function. The bar chart should be displayed either in ascending or descending order of the values. In order to arrange the bar chart in ascending or descending order, we converted the categorical variable into a factor, and then we use factor reorder method. Okay, and finally, this I think I forgot to show you. So how, if I want to flip the coordinates here, if I want to flip the coordinate, that means if I want to change the x and y axis, how can I able to do that? So you can able to do that with geom. You can able to do that with coordinate flip method. So let's say we should able to get now the flip chart here. Yeah, let me remove this sign now, and let's can execute. Yeah, you can see that. But if you see this closely, you will see that the position of the labels is not properly represented. That's because we have used the vertical just method. So instead of vertical just, because now the bar graphs are plotted horizontally, you will have to use horizontal just here to change the position of the labels. And you can see that if you use the horizontal just as just, you will see the labels are properly represented on top of each, on the side rather, on each bar. Okay, so that's the third point. We use the coordinate flip method to change the axis of the bar chart. Fine, so we have concluded, we have come to the end. We have used the bar chart. We could able to answer a few questions from the data set using the bar chart. And thank you very much for watching till the end. If you are interested in getting further notifications, then you may like to subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Take care, and I will see you soon.